Hello and welcome to the Rapid Business Improvement Podcast, where you get tips and interviews to help you rapidly improve your business. I'm David Dean Spread, your host and the creator of the ABC model for rapid business improvement. Welcome everybody to this interview with Mark Hann. Mark is the founding partner of the accounting and business advisory service Tactica Partners. Mark came on this journey as an accountant and an advisor after a brief stint as a teacher and then working in an accounting firm where there were many partners, and he learned the lesson there that it might be nicer to have a smaller, tighter unit. And he founded Tactica Partners with that aim in mind, and the firm now based solidly in the Subiaco business district in Western Australia, because I'm here in Perth in Australia, Western Australia. And Mark is providing his services not only to people I don't know, but people I do know, and they speak very, very highly of him. And as a result of that, I've brought Mark to interview for your benefit today, to give you some tips and clues about the management of the small business enterprise. Now, welcome aboard, Mark.
Thanks, David. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks for having me along.
That's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure. So give us a little bit more background how you got into this. I mean, from teaching to accounting, how does that work?
Well, there is a bit of a natural connection there. I taught maths and phys ed. Maths, I tend to align pretty well with numbers, and but I got to the end of a 4-year career in teaching and decided that's not what I wanted to continue doing. And so I went back to study at that time. Numbers was a bit of a passion. Accounting fitted in really nicely around that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I went back to study the accounting practice that I was a client of. Took me on as a mature age graduate. So it seemed to come together very well for me.
Oh, fantastic, mate. That's fantastic. And what? So really the numbers. I mean, I know I should have guessed the phys ed, the physical education part, because I know you're a fitness freak even now. You love your footy and you love your bike riding, don't you?
Yeah, look, I've had a connection with footy from being a wee nipper. Played a bit of local waffle footy with Claremont Footy Club for a number of years, and enjoy, unfortunately, long-suffering Dockers member at the moment. We're looking forward to them having some success. And yeah, look, I enjoy doing some physical activity around social groups, really. So I think riding sort of fits really nicely into that space. Part of a couple of social running groups, and walk a bit with my wife. I just find that an activity is just a great thing to have, social interactions with throughout.
That's fantastic, Mark. And of course, relationships is a big part of what we do, whether it be in our private life or even in business, and maybe particularly in business.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Our business is very relationship focused.
Yeah. Okay, and so describe your ideal client.
Yeah, look,
our ideal client.
Yeah, our ideal clients look a little like us. We're more than 5 staff. We turn over more than $1 million. We've been in business for some time. We're reasonably sophisticated with our internal reporting, and we're looking for clients in small business that sort of fit that metric, I suppose. Maybe haven't focused on their business. They've been stuck inside the business. We hear that regularly. And I suppose trying to help clients better engage with their numbers. In this day and age, we see lots of businesses that actually do have some pretty good reporting. It's either through their Xero or their MYOB or their other accounting software package. There's a whole lot of other data that exists within their businesses. We probably would be reasonably confident saying that not a lot of our clients and our small business clients or our particular target market is using those numbers particularly strategically. I'd be hazard a guess to say a lot of people just run by what their bank balance looks like, maybe have some thoughts a little bit about future cash flows, but not much sophistication. We certainly don't see a lot of clients preparing, forecasting some budgets, having regular monthly management meetings, and just drilling down on their numbers.
Right.
In accounting, in the tax accounting I'm in, we prepare annual tax accounts, which often are prepared and presented well and truly after year end. And by that time, the world has gone well past when we present those accounts. Now, those accounts are good, but they're not particularly great for management purposes.
Right, I get that. And so let me ask you a slightly difficult question. What sets your firm and you apart from all the other accountants and business advisory services that are in your space?
Well, I suppose, look, we probably tick all of those boxes where we try and deliver a very bespoke and intimate personal business relationship. We really are trying to work in that space of getting our clients to engage much better with their numbers. We provide around the compliance package a bit of a summarised package of information to help clients better understand what sits inside invariably those large annual packages of information. But more importantly, probably challenging our clients around what their strategic positioning is. How are they reporting? How are they managing their future next 12-month program? Are they bringing other people, other professionals around the table to help them be challenged and maybe provide resources to assist them in building better businesses sooner? And so I think that's where we really sort of step out in terms of our difference.
Okay, thank you. And what do you see the main challenges that your type of clients face in the context of your service?
Yeah, well, two things. I think it's certainly it's a very difficult economic market in the small business space at the minute, it'd be fair to say, particularly in WA. I would say that our small business clients, as a consequence of that, are drilling down very much on costs and reining in costs. Sometimes or often our small business clients struggle to differentiate between costs and investment.
Yeah.
And I suppose by that what I mean is engaging with people like myself, like yourself, David, having confidence in spending money around professionals and consultants to help them try and grow their business or to better manage their businesses. Often in these times, I think people, bunker down, keep their heads down and perhaps miss the opportunity to really engage us, and again, yourself, in the services that we offer that actually take them beyond, in our case, beyond the compliance work and help them look more deeply into maybe some better profit opportunity in their existing business model.
Yeah, I get that. And that's really good advice to heed too. And a great way to think about using those kind of, your kind of service. So we've got, obviously out there are a large number of clients who already have accountants. What's a good tip that you can give all of these people, how they can better use their accountants? Do you notice that some of these business owners aren't really exploiting the value that the accountant can bring?
Yes, I think that's a fair comment. I think, possibly clients, struggle to pick up the phone maybe and ring us from time to time. Perhaps there's a bit of fee sensitivity around understanding what value they may get from asking a partner or a part of their accounting team a question. My view is the dollars spent on answering those questions will generally be paid back in multiples. Look, I do understand that that people do have a little hesitation around paying professional fees, but I think it's really hinged around the relationship, the comfort in actually being able to know that you're speaking to the right people, and I suppose making sure that inside the accounting relationships, there's probably more than one or two people that are across the client's particular affairs. I think clients can get particularly frustrated with trying to make attempts to communicate perhaps with some of their advisors, and at times been disappointed with an inability of advisor to get back in a timely fashion. And we work very hard on making sure we return calls and communications in a very timely manner.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it is a lot about building that relationship, isn't it?
Oh, look, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I get that. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to rapidly improve their business from the perspective of the service that you provide?
Yeah, again, I probably go back to the numbers, and I'll be questioning clients on what reporting are they doing? Are they meeting regularly? Often our clients are either in partnership arrangements or co-director arrangements. How are they sharing and understanding the information that's going on inside their business? Is the information tracking particular KPIs that might be key to certain revenue streams? Do they have an expectation? In many instances, businesses may actually just by circumstance run at a loss in a given month. And sometimes I think that businesses find that causes them a shock. They're not anticipating it. And why is that? It's probably because there has been no forecasting, no looking out the front window as to what the business might be looking like on a month-by-month basis. So I think that businesses that understand how the numbers work and how they can influence the numbers, and that may be as simple as understanding debtor days. We see classic examples of very simple strategies around improving cash flow simply by just trying to rein in the debtors ledger. It's surprising to me the number of times that clients send out a bill and then there's no process in terms of follow-up or following up on their terms, and having a real dedicated process around that. And that on the other side, that applies to things like payment of creditors and things like that. So, look, I think we like to elevate business owners' mindsets around getting a deeper understanding of the numbers, reporting to the numbers, questioning the numbers, and that tends to create its own momentum where as people go through that process, they get more knowledge. Knowledge is power. Power leads to better questioning, better thinking. It may lead to then, again, questions around, well, look, we deal in numbers and strategy around numbers and reporting. That can open up then offerings to, again, people like yourself, consultants that can come in and actually challenge, whether it's people, whether it's culture, what other strategies are sitting inside this business.
Yeah, sure, because there's a whole range of activities, isn't there? It's a never-ending journey.
But we've been in business for 12 years and some years before that, and we never stop learning. As accountants, we're good in some things. We're certainly not great at everything, and we're continually learning. And of course, we're in a marketplace and an environment where things are changing so very quickly. The way that technology is advancing. How do we better use our reporting systems? How do we better use our CRMs? How do we better engage with our clients? How can we change the way in which we engage with our clients? Can we turn what is otherwise a fairly, mundane experience for our clients maybe into something that's a little different? And there are lots of people out there that we continually talk to and meet and speak to. We certainly don't profess to know it all. We know an amount. But the moment we switch off the absorbing of other people's experiences and readings and knowledge and so forth is the moment we start getting left behind.
Sure. Small businesses need quite a range of expertise within the business and also tap into that beyond the business. To what extent do you find you're encouraging your clients to work on the business rather than their habit of working in the business? Is that an issue that you come across?
Yeah, look, we hear that terminology regularly. I think it's fair to say that as our clients are sort of aware of of the process. I'm not sure that they really understand is when they're working on the business versus in the business. It is a kind of a differentiation. Interestingly, the sort of the management meeting process that we've sort of touched on creates an opportunity for clients to get into a meeting room, and sort of close the doors and not lock themselves away, but lock themselves away, and to spend a little bit of time on looking on what is actually going on in the business, and then maybe creating some decisive actions to either address an issue or to take up an opportunity, and to start looking more out that front window. That great analogy of, you're in your car, your front windscreen takes up 20 times the size of your rear view mirror. I think a lot of our business owners are spending more time looking in the rear view mirror than they are looking out the front window. And it's, again, a common analogy, but I think it's pretty real, and certainly in the small business space.
No, it's very true. It's very true. No, I really get that. And having a 360-degree scan on a regular basis is probably absolutely essential. Looking around rather than looking only at the historical stuff.
Yeah, very much so. And sort of, again, I think, and looking around and engaging with, might be similar business associations. It may be, other professional associations. Garnering that information, and we all know, we all feel very busy, and we are. And I think that the discipline about it is actually creating that opportunity to lock away some time, within your working day. It shouldn't be something that you tack on at the end of the day or early morning. I mean, some people are different and that works well for them, but, to really log in as part of your daily workflow, an aspect of, even if it's, reading the local business news magazine and looking for articles to connect with other people, and, sharing knowledge is a great way to maintain, knowledge and information, I think.
Absolutely. Look, thanks a lot for that, Mark. Mark, what is there one sort of point or giveaway or a place where people can go to check you out or get an idea of what you offer? And is there something you can offer? I can put a link below this podcast, or a number of links below this podcast. What can you talk about?
Yeah, look, well, we've obviously got our website, and we're happy to share that link with you. Within that website, there's an opportunity to sign up to our bi-monthly newsletter that we send out. There's some great little articles in there, not necessarily around tax. It can be around, business strategy. It can be around someone else's business. It can be getting a little insight into Tactica Partners. Look, just while I've got the opportunity, we running a couple of events, or a series of events at the moment, inside our facility here at Homebase. We're running a learn how to predict your profit and be surprised by the benefits. That's a little presentation we're doing on the 21st of August here at Homebase. So if there's any interest around that, you can make some inquiry through our website to attend. That's a free event being sponsored by Bendigo Bank as well. And, we're hoping to get, 30, 40, 50 people in the room. And we'll be talking about some of the things that we're sort of loosely touched on today, in terms of actually how you might go about looking at a forecast or a P&L forecast, and how you might better use that to assist your thinking in your business.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Mark. So the 21st of August at your office at Homebase in Subiaco?
Yep, Subiaco, 55 Salvado Road. It's not actually in our office itself. It's across the way, but that, we can provide anyone who's got any interest in coming along, touch base with us, and we'd be happy to provide the direction, so forth.
And what time of the day is that?
It's a 5:30 to 7 o'clock slot. We'll be talking for about 20, 25 minutes, and then there'll be some networking opportunities. So we should have a great opportunity to learn a little bit and to maybe make some relationships on the same time.
Sure. No, that's fantastic. And I'll put a link to that. And you might get Helen to send me any links that are important related to what we've just said.
Okay, great.
That would be good. And
Yeah,
I'll put that at the bottom of the podcast and people can check that out. And of course, you're quite welcome to use this podcast any way you like to your clients or the people you want to invite.
Okay, that's terrific. Thanks, David.
That will work. All right. Well, Mark, thank you very much. I really appreciate the time you spent with us. And I'm sure that there's a lot of good advice embedded in those comments. And it is a big part of the business. Actually, it's not the part of the business that I'm very good at.
You better come and see us.
And so the reality is that it's an important part of the business and it has to be done.
Yeah. Look, and exactly, and it's funny, you say, it applies to you. I think it applies to the very large part of the small business population. And if we could take them on that one little journey, I'm sure that there would be great insight gained for the benefit of the small business person.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good on you, Mark. Thanks very much. And we'll see you around very shortly.
And thanks, David. Thanks for having me along. It's been great.
Okay, mate. Thanks for listening to today's podcast on rapid business improvement. For free resources, including show notes from today, head over to rapidbusinessimprovement.com. If you enjoyed the podcast, give us a review on iTunes. Until next time.